live. The broadcast is live. It is official. Hey, everyone. This is Laurie Finkelstein Reader, and I am so excited that we are. Well, that would be the first thing that happens in live is something that shouldn't happen in live. So this should be really fun today. Full disclosure, everyone, I am doing my first live on Facebook, but I'm not worried because I've got one of the best pros in the business, and that's the amazing Veronica Figueroa. This is our first Table Talk Live. And thinking about how to help our real estate community really move forward, I could think of nothing better than reaching out to our incredible leaders in real estate and bringing those people to you to help you move your businesses forward. I thought long and hard, what's the focus of Table Talk Live? And it is to serve real estate agents that are super committed to giving the consumer an outstanding experience. It's for real estate agents that have chosen this as a forever career because they have a servant's heart and they're passionate about helping the consumer achieve their goals. So with no further ado, I just want to introduce not only a dear friend, but someone that she inspires me daily. She is such a player, such an integral part of our real estate community, all the way from here throughout the US. And again, that's the amazing Veronica Figueroa.
Oh.
She is the leader. Yes, I could sit here just for the hour talking about you, Veronica. Veronica leads her incredible team. She is also one of who I see as one of the most important people, part of the incredible company EXP. And she's got a lot of different ways that she impacts real estate. And I for one am in awe of you, Veronica. We talked about, you and I, just a little bit ahead of time about how we are extremely brand agnostic. This has nothing to do, I'm an independent, you're an EXP baller. I call you an EXP baller. And we don't care who you work for. This is just really about not only as leaders in real estate, but lady leaders in real estate, and how to help you, the agent, who decided that this would be your career path. So I want to welcome you. Thank you for being with me and being our very first guest.
Oh my gosh, the pleasure is mine. I love it. I love the name. I love everything that it stands for. And I was absolutely honored when you guys reached out and we started brainstorming, and I just knew you're going to bring so much value to our community that needs it more than ever, like you said. So thank you, not only for being such an amazing thought leader and, putting yourself out there at such a high level to just give back, but also for being my friend and always a mentor to me. I just feel like I'm so blessed and lucky to know that, I have the blessing that I could just phone a friend, and that friend is Laurie Reader, someone who is wise, someone who is smart, driven, positive, optimistic, and just, slap my ass into check whenever I need it.
I will.
Yes. So thank you. And I think it's important to have people like each other in our world. So I'm just excited. And I think that, Table Talk is going to have a lot of cool topics, right? It's going to be a conversation. It's going to be a lot of nuggets, but it's people, right? Human beings coming together and showing our human side, which oftentimes you're such a machine and run such a big business. I don't know how many people get to experience Laurie the way I do, but man, am I lucky.
Oh, Veronica, I really appreciate you saying that. At the end of the day, we're in the people business. And what you find out, and I'm sure you're feeling the same thing that we feel, is that the deeper you get into the real estate business, the more transactions you're doing, the more consumers you're touching, the more agents you're leading, the more leadership we need. A lot of us, we find ourselves all of a sudden going from being real estate agents to real estate leaders, meaning we're responsible. I wake up today and I say there's approximately 70 people in our organization, and For me, we need to make sure they can turn their lights on. You and I take that very, very, very personally. So as we are spending a lot of time, I know you and I and many of you that are listening, not only praying for our world, um, we had to, all of us collectively, which is unique about the COVID-19 experience, overnight, we had to take a ship that we all thought was going perfectly in one direction. And then, boom, we had to make a quick turn. So I would love to ask you a couple questions. I know you're really thriving in this COVID-19 environment. And my first question is really, let's call it during the new normal. So what have you found is the main area, the one thing that you're having to focus on to keep your team moving in the right direction, right? Because we don't want to come out of this in 90 days or 120 days and the talk is we'll lose half of the real estate industry. Well, I know you and I don't want that to happen. We're all about having agents become successful. So what is the biggest challenge, and what's the one thing you're doing to keep that boat moving, that ship moving in the right direction?
I will say that the number one thing that we have been doing consistently, which is something we didn't do before, and thanks to your mentorship, as well as the accountability and the community that we've formed in this new virtual reality that we are living in, has really helped us become tighter as a team. So, we're mirroring the model you taught us, right? 8:30 in the morning huddles religiously, no matter what. Everybody committed to that. Also, in addition to that, the accountability piece of tracking their contacts and making sure that they're reaching out to people, checking in on them and not selling, right? We're focusing on being community pillars. So it was something that we look back now, I'm like, man, we have been wanting to implement stuff like this for a long time. And, it was just something got in the way, excuses got in the way. And although we were a pretty tight-knit team and we would always meet every week and we would always have our Slack channels going and we were always in communication. So we thought we were missing a lot of the accountability pieces that could get us through this new COVID world. And I knew I needed to act immediately and do something different. That once a week touch was not going to be enough. My agents needed community more than ever. They needed to believe and feel that they had a leader that was committed. So if I had no room to slack off. So I remember giving you a call and I invited you to one of my team meetings. And I think I even had a mini breakdown on that one. Just because we were all experiencing a lot of emotions, our people were worried. But we had our moment, we had our funk, and then we got to work. And we all recommitted to the process. We recommitted to higher accountability, community more than ever, our mental health, and being there for each other. Because we also said we have a choice. We can either wallow in our worries, or we can guarantee that we come out of this in next 60 to 90 days, stronger than ever. And I even took a playbook out of our good friend Chris Lindahl's book, right? I was worried about some of the people on my team only because emotionally this was hard for a lot of them. And I said to them, I want to make sure you guys are going to be okay in the next 90 to 120 days. And these are the actions that we must take in order for you to thrive in real estate post-COVID, post-new normal. And I'm committed if you're committed. And let's show our commitment by all of us taking on this new challenge of checking in every single day at 8:30 in the morning, having a training, having a guest speaker, training wins. What are the wins? Sharing. And this is the interactive part. They have to interact, And at first it started off, Laurie, with video screening with no, they'd hop on the call with no video or with no audio. It was just getting them in the house. Get out of bed, guys. Make your bed. Keep those habits going that a true real estate professional should be doing anyways in their business, right? And it was just, it's interesting that now it's been 4.5 weeks from when we started that to where they're at now. They're like,
Crazy.
oh, hair's done, makeup's done, you know, they're dressed, they're ready to go
Right.
seize the day. And they've now said to me, please, please let this be our new normal, that I look forward to this call every morning. We even had one competition that we ran it through the weekend, and they were like, I want to do it even on the weekends. Like, it's just been amazing how they've embraced this change, and we have come together stronger than ever. And some people are already in these meetings. That's fine. Kudos to you guys, but this was new for us.
Right. So what I'm hearing, like, huge, which gets me super excited, is that, well, one, you guys created a habit.
Yeah.
So the habit became your new normal, to the point where if you don't do those 8:30 meetings, they think something's missing, right?
Yes.
So we decide our habits. And I agree with you. A lot of us in the beginning, including myself, 2 weeks, I felt like I was in quicksand. And then you have to rise up. It's getting up, putting your makeup on, making your bed. You've got to have a schedule. You know, you and I are coached by the same amazing coach, the one and only John Sheplack. And what we know, and for those of you who are leaders, well, kudos to you. And if those of you who want to be leaders, well, get ready, because leadership is tough. Accountability, John tells us, on a daily basis, it's the highest form of loving and caring for another human being, because we both know that if people are not going to be held accountable and they're not going to do the activities, they are not going to have a life by design.
Mm-hmm.
So I love, this is huge. You know, you made a decision, your people got on board, and they said, we are going to be driving this ship in the direction we want to go. We are not going to let the seas and the winds take us where it wants to go. So congratulations on that. That's really awesome. And also, Veronica, you and I both know, and I just want to share this with whoever is watching us today, is that I believe every one of us has a little bit of leader in us. But we find out quickly that that's not the fun part.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do decide to lead, you have to lead knowing in your heart and in your mind that what you're doing is actually going to give someone an amazing life.
Yeah.
They may not like you. They may push on you hard. They may push back on you. But those that want to be led and want to be held accountable, they will be that large group of real estate entrepreneurs that are running this business moving forward. And we talk about post-COVID-19. Well, none of us know what that looks like. We don't know if we'll be in these waters for 2 weeks or 2 years. So another thing you said that really excited me, and I think we're all feeling that, is that, you know, now your team they're just loving the new normal. They love this meeting that they have to go to. So congratulations on really making that happen. I'm really proud of you. You are exceptional. You are that person. Everybody should learn one thing from Veronica Figueroa. When she doesn't know how to do something or wants to accomplish something, Veronica, you go out and get it and you implement it. And that is a habit and a characteristic that any one of us that want to, we can adapt it. But when you want to learn how to do something and you want to do it, you'll call 10 people and you will figure it out. So I give you a lot of credit for that.
You know, I probably can, you know, I want to give people a little secret. Like, that's how I built my career, was just picking up the phone and asking for help. I literally have done that in every chapter of my growth, and no different than that's how our friendship started. I remember calling you and saying,
Yep.
I feel like we need to connect. And
yeah. You called me and you said, quote, "This is Veronica Figueroa and I need to be your friend." And I thought to myself, no, those are the kind of lady leaders I need in my life. The ones that are willing to step out and say, hey, let's do this together. Let's learn together. Let's grow together. Let's build together. You know, that meant a lot to me, by the way. I just want you to know.
You know, it took a lot of courage, because obviously you're such an iconic leader in this industry. South Florida is lucky to have you. You truly raised the bar. And I know your team. I know your operations team. I know everyone from Josie to Camilla to the agents to Matt. I mean, I've had the pleasure of interviewing Eric at Inman and like all the things that have evolved out of this beautiful friendship. You know, I get to see how you run your team. But from outside, I was like, wow, she's this mogul, you know, like it was hard to pick up the phone and call you because I was like, is she going to reject me? Am I going to be like, ooh, don't call me. Don't try. You know how it is. And man, it's crazy. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful friendship.
Yeah.
Now 3 years or so, or 2.5, 3 years. And it's been fun.
I love it.
I've done that throughout my entire career. When I started my relationship with, you know, Zillow, I went up to, I didn't even know it was the CEO of the company. I was like, who are you and what do you do for the company? I was like, hi, I'm Veronica Figueroa. I'm from Orlando, Florida. You need to know more.
I love it. I love it. And again, people need to learn from you for doing that. You know, we came 8 years before we went independent. Actually, it's been 2 years as an independent, and the 8 years prior to that, we were with Keller Williams. And I had I was the same as you were. You know, I picked up the phone, I called all the leads of the companies and teams, and I was like, you know, I don't know how to do this. Will you help me? And the interesting thing you find out is that leaders love to be asked. And people are afraid to ask. So I'm glad that you and I are both putting that out there. Like, we want to help you. Okay. Can I ask you a couple more questions?
You can ask me as many questions as you want. This is the table, right?
Yes. Here we go. So, you know, I'm leading a lot of agents, and we know there are lots of hurdles right now. What would you say is the greatest challenge your agents are experiencing in the current COVID-19 environment?
So I think a lot of agents on our team, as we've been sharing some of the challenges and the wins, are probably struggling with a lot of the things that agents out there are, where their buyers and sellers are uncertain and they are putting things on pause right now. And, you know, to keep your agents motivated and letting them know, like, it's exactly that. It's a pause. We're deferring the income, but the relationship must continue. And if right now there are certain things beyond your control, such as the financing or the stricter guidelines or the credit score, you know, credit scores tightening up, that person still deserves to be nurtured and treated as if they're a client that you want to have for life. And, you know, if you disappear off the face of the earth during this time, you can't believe that they're going to want to do business with you when things lift up. So I think that, you know, our agents have admitted where they were afraid to speak to people. They were afraid to reach out because they didn't know what to say. Now they thank us for saying, oh my God, just calling them to check in on them has, you know, sparked a new opportunity. You know, some of them are willing to still buy. Some of them are asking me if I can look at the value of their home because they're going to need to sell for whatever reasons. But they're not leading the conversation with real estate. They're actually just leading with, hi, how are you? You know, there's a lot of craziness right now going on. You know, just having a conversation with people. Our agents at the beginning, their biggest challenge was they didn't know what to say. They were too. So then when they started getting comfortable and we started like giving them guidance, and other agents started sharing their success with just picking up the phone and calling people, and people, you know, that were in their database, or just people they had lost contact with, or, you know, just letting people know that they're there. One person shares their testimonial, then the other one says, well, I'm going to do it. You inspired me. And then they started adding video to it. So the challenges that they were facing, I think, were in their own mind of thinking that they were going to get rejected, when in turn, really what's happening is people are thanking them for reaching out.
No, I agree.
The rest is real estate. Here's what I say, Laurie. We're going to real estate. We're just going to real estate differently. We're still going to be real estate. It's just some of this, our income is going to be deferred. You know, there's going to be some closings that are going to get delayed, but people are still going to need to move. People are still going to need to buy, you know, as companies start adjusting and sending employees home to work from home, you know, they're going to feel a little safer. I just think that the agent, we do a really good job of getting in our own heads and deciding for the consumer, when we just ask the consumer where they're at and ask them, what's your situation looking like? So the biggest challenge that I heard my agents going through was the fear of reaching out to people. But we overcame that real quick.
So the phone as typical for most agent, weighed like 1,000 pounds, right? Because we certainly weren't going to call consumers and ask them about real estate when
Right.
2 weeks ago, this was like we got hit by the biggest storm you've ever been hit by. I couldn't agree with you more. And again, it sounds to me like if the agents didn't have the habit prior to COVID-19 of being committed to picking up that phone, making those calls, checking in on people. How are you? The simple question of how are you doing? Hi, I'm Susie with Veronica Figueroa Team, just checking in to see how you and your family are doing. You had registered on our website, a few months back. You're a part of our community. We just want to know how you are. So a few things are happening is what I'm hearing is that if agents didn't have the habit, well, they are definitely going to need it right now. And this is something they will have to be doing. So on our team, we talk about 20 meaningful conversations a day will still help you sell 2 homes a month. Not to mention, imagine when we get into June, July, or August, the amount of people that are going to want to transact. But if we haven't been checking in on them and showing human compassion and making sure we're taking care of them, I don't think they're going to want to transact with us. So for those who didn't have the habit, well, then lucky you, you're building it now. I'm not sure what else we have to do at home right now. I mean, I just have to give a shout out, for those that are home with small children, you're my hero.
Yeah.
Boy, do you need a schedule more than anyone. That's really hard work for the moms and the dads that have got all these littles running around. God bless you. I know how hard this is. But again, regardless, we have to have that habit of making the contacts, making the connections, and you build that habit. It's impossible not to win in real estate because outside of COVID-19, I mean, anybody watching this can go to their local MLS board and they can look it up. I mean, there are thousands of homes being listed and sold.
Oh, yeah.
But reality is, Veronica, is that an agent that was making maybe 2 to 10 contacts a day, they will need to make a minimum of 20 so that they can get to the same place. So I still say that you and I and our teams and people who are doing the activities, I still say we can control the outcome and control our income. Do we have to do a lot more? Yes, we do. We absolutely do. I am also a believer that those that are in this because they have a servant's heart and they care deeply for the consumer, it doesn't matter. They're willing to do the work. So again, another props to your team for, realizing this is tough. It's hard to pick up the phone right now. It's hard for a lot of agents. I mean, I'm talking to agents all day long and they're like, I can't do it. I can't make the calls. And then I ask them the one question, well, how will you pay your bills?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the phone becomes less heavy. So, I'm really, really proud of you again. And I'm excited for your team that realizes that this is what it will take.
Yeah, and I think another easy little thing that they started implementing that was so heavy for them was their selfie video mode. Just send a quick video text. If you don't get them on the line or you can't, or maybe even start out with the video text, hey, I'm just thinking about you. The overwhelming response we've gotten from our agents saying, oh my God, they texted me back with the video and said that they love this communication style. And it's like, yeah, remember we've been talking about that forever? And, it's just like, it was just these habits that, we oftentimes think are so uncomfortable, but you just start getting used to it. I tell my team now, I'm like, guys, I've gotten used to this face. This is what God gave me, so I got to get used to it. This is what I'm going to show up looking like on the videos. And, we try to put some humor on it, and our agents are super excited now to do more video. So yeah, video.
That's awesome, Veronica. Yeah, we know that video is the complete way of the future. When we first started doing video about 1.5 years ago, and I thought, I don't want to see myself on video. And then I think John or you or someone said to me, well, you look the same on and off the video. But I get it. We're a little bit vain, you come to realize that no one really cares. It's just us being tough on ourselves. And I'm actually not tough on myself anymore, because, the one goal is to try and help others move their businesses and their lives forward. No one's trying to date me. Let's face facts. And by the way, you're gorgeous, so you don't need to worry about that. You are just beautiful. So yeah, I understand, and I have a lot of I understand agents and how hard it is right now. It's not easy, but when you're in a career, in a chosen career, every year won't be easy. Some years are going to be extremely financially fruitful. Other years, you may just be pouring all your money back into your business. Sometimes life is happening. So, it's not a straight line. It is just not a straight line. There are a little bit of bumps in the road. And to me, getting really comfortable being extremely uncomfortable has what I would attribute most of our growth to. So where there's mess, there's opportunity, and there's growth.
Yep.
When everything's just perfect and it's sailing along and everything's wonderful, yeah, we're on a good trajectory, but any minute we're about to fall off. So, yeah, this has been quite the experience for all of us, and just really paying very close attention to the silver lining of all of it, which brings me to my next question for you. And my next question is really, and I hope you can elaborate on this, because I think this is what helps a lot of us across the US, all of us real estate agents, the leaders, team leaders, CEOs. It doesn't matter what your position is, real estate agent. How we move forward through COVID and post-COVID. And my question really revolves around whatever you've had to change, all the pivots, all the, it's been every 24, 48 hours, we've had to do something different. What are the bullet points, if you will, of the things that you will never go back to doing another way? You will continue to march forward. You will continue to grow with these new bullet points, these things that you are seeing will help you with your business.
Yeah, for sure. The standards of accountability on our team are at a whole new level, and we'll never go back to, to living less, below those standards. And, we really want to work with people who are committed, people who are willing to recommit even when they had a slight slip up, but that they're willing to take responsibility for their actions. And in the past, we have been very lenient, and it actually hurt us. And it's not that we want to crack the whip. It's not that. It's just we just really want to work with people who are aligned with our vision. And some of those standards, obviously, like I said, the commitment of, the accountability, how we're doing, how we're managing our database, how we're managing some of the systems that we use. Sisu now, I think I mentioned that to you. So Sisu is a gamification system that we're using. And now that's kind of like our leaderboard that all the agents see that. You have a question?
When you talk, I want you to keep going, but I want to just take one step back. When you talk about accountability, if you could just elaborate a little bit on that, because I feel like we as leaders, we throw the word around, but accountability is what changed my world and took me from an average producer to a big producer. I've watched in my own team, someone going from, 15 or 20 sales to 60 sales. So would you elaborate on what accountability will look like moving forward for your group?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, it's really started with our support team. The way that we're leading our support team is now flowing into our agents, because we need to lead by example. So my admin, if she doesn't see them on the call in the morning, she'll check in on them like, hey, is everything okay? And the agents themselves are saying, I meant to be there, or this came up, but I won't miss the next one, and we're not cracking the whip. It's like, we had an awesome speaker today, we missed you. And the agent is the one who's self-acknowledging that we are paying, they're realizing we're paying attention. And again, we're paying attention because we care, because it's coming from a place of love, because we believe that we're bringing value. And the agents are then saying, I'm so sorry, I don't want to let the team down. And I know we all committed together, and we said we were going to do this together. So I think our accountability, the way it'll be different is that we won't call people out. We'll meet them where they're at, try to find out what's going on, but also if we see that there is a habitual offender who says they're committed, but their actions don't show it, then we want to leave room for people who really want to be on the team, the lifers, or the people who want to grow with us.
Right.
Okay, if our level of intensity and commitment is too much for
Right.
someone, either they rise up with us or they deselect, and that's okay, and we wish them the best.
Right.
I will say we've realized we are not for everyone, and that's okay too. We can love them from afar. And hey, listen, if you just want to, if you feel that this is too much for you, I get it. But like John teaches us, where else is that showing up in your life, right?
Right.
So I think our accountability, in the past, I used to think it was being mean to hold people accountable, and now I realize it truly does come from a place of love. So our admin, they're checking in on them. We're doing daily retention calls, making sure that they're okay. Things that we weren't doing before that I'm like, why weren't we doing that anyways? So
Right.
now our team meetings, and not that we wouldn't, we would love on them, but like now there's a process to everything. And it's crazy how our staff has taken ownership of it. And like today, Chris ran the morning huddle. Carolina's taking marketing Mondays, and everybody's really taking ownership to these things because we all made a commitment, and I think that's how it's showing up. So going back to our accountability and our habits and the things we'll never, we'll do differently. We'll never go back. We'll never go back to slacking and to really just,
Right.
only if the agent wants to. Well, because they're coming to me because they trust me, I should have a plan for them. And we shouldn't deviate from the plan. And
No,
then, what I said to my team when I had to become, this accountability leader, I said, hold me accountable. If I fail to follow through with what I committed as a leader, I want you to hold me accountable. And I said to them, I have to recommit to some things that I have failed you on, because these were some of the things that we should have been doing. Mind you, we still sell 500, 400 something homes, almost 500. The goal this year is 800. So it's like we knew we needed new habits to get to the next level. We weren't going to get to 800 sales doing the same thing we were doing when we were 400. So it's just, I think it's a long-winded answer. There's a lot of moving parts to it, but I'm just proud to see how everybody's being a part of our accountability, not just me. It's not top down. It's even our agents. We have an accountability 11:30 walking mental check-in group, and they're like, "Hey, we missed you." They're talking to me, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got a Zoom something I have." They're like, I told you tomorrow.
That's right. And guess what? Can you imagine what this looks like in the rearview mirror in 12 months with this type of, let's call it love accountability? Because when those rock star agents see the fruit of the labor from the standard, that's what happens, Veronica. You create this environment, because if I approach one of our agents and maybe they just barely hit their accountability, but they were close, Matt Weiner, Matt, you did a great job. Don't tell me I did a great job. I didn't finish it. I didn't hit my number, but you did a great job. It's because you will find that the right people stay in your world because they want it.
Yeah.
They are looking to build something. So I love that accountability will not leave your organization, because with that, you are unstoppable. And I mean unstoppable. You talk about 800 transactions. Let's talk about 1,800 transactions. Where there's a standard and someone is holding it accountable, there's no losing. And again, like you have your admin, they're involved. It's the same with us, Camilla, Josie, Jess, all of them, they are 1,000% in. You and I last night, we were on a webinar, and we realized that COVID-19 has exposed everybody, right? Everyone, real estate agents, leaders, admin, it doesn't matter. We can't hide. And we realized that you're either going to lean all the way in or you're going to step out.
Yeah. How are you going to show up? And I think even on that call yesterday when John was talking about the event that we're putting on, which is Ride and Thrive, which is tomorrow, but which we'll make sure everyone gets an invite.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it was something that we put
Do I get
together.
an invite?
Of course. Of course.
I cannot miss an event with Veronica Figueroa and the John Sheplack. So that's exciting. Let's make sure we share that at the end where they can register. I know you've got already over 500 registrations. So that's really exciting.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times we'll say, oh, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. And we're waiting for perfection versus I'm like, John was like, let's execute, right? So we execute. And next thing you know, I'm like pumping it out there. And it's like, how am I going to show up as a leader? I can't say that I'm a leader just because I want to say I'm a leader. How am I going to show up? Show up for my people, show up for my peers in the community, show up in you know, as an industry, I would say, leader, as they say, but like, what am I really doing? How am I showing up? So I knew I wanted to do this event and I didn't have a real plan other than like, John, can I give up my coaching session to give it to other agents who might need it? Can I donate this? And it turned into this whole snowball effect where we have over 500 registrations in less than 36 hours. And I think with John, a good point that what he says is that leaders take action. People take the people that are going to succeed and thrive in this market, people take action. So I was also going to say to the agents out there that we were talking about video and you don't know what to do, maybe now's your time to go and highlight that small business that's doing takeout or highlight that part of the community that maybe is neglected that people don't see, or maybe just highlight something going on in your community. So this way you can be positioned as the leader in your community and you're taking action by shining the light on someone else. So I know a lot of the questions that I've been asked is, what kind of video do I do? Well, just start. It doesn't have to be perfect, and make it that you're coming from contribution. Because if you're coming from contribution, people know that you don't have ulterior motives, and you know they're just going to want to be in business with you.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So just if you could give us one more specific bullet point that you will not change as we sail through, we drive through COVID and launch into the new normal, whatever that will be.
Does it have to be real estate related?
You're Veronica Figueroa. It can be whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
I would say we have real estate agents watching, so maybe.
Yeah. Let's see. That's a tricky one. One more. So, you know, I think that this is a trick question because I don't really know the right answer. But I will say is, you know,
no right and wrong answer.
It is taking time for myself, which I never.
I love it.
And
I love
it. To really think during these times. As a leader, I oftentimes take on too much. I say yes to more things than I should. And recently I've been like literally living by I've always lived by my calendar, blocking out times where I 100% will not allow anything to interrupt that time. Just because I'm realizing that I matter. And if I am not taking care of my mental health, how can I lead people?
Exactly.
And really, for me, it's been more like, am I having a woosah moment? Like, and that's why I'm saying it's important that I share that because it is personal, but it's because I need to have the right mental space and the right capacity to lead my team into the future.
I mean, we know where we're at personally is exactly what shows up professionally. So no, I think that's really important. And I'm glad you mentioned it because I think a lot of us, especially some of us women, you know, we're doing so many things, taking care of so many people that we may forget about ourselves. So yes, I am with you. So I love that even post-COVID, you will make yourself a priority. And I would love to give all people and women the same permission to do so. So listen, I just want to tell you, like, I am so overwhelmed by this incredible experience to have with you, especially on our first ever Table Talk Live. I want to remind anyone who tunes in, I want to remind anybody who's in real estate that Buyers, sellers, renters, investors have not stopped pursuing whatever it is they need. We got into real estate to help them. We're going through some tough times, but we will navigate through these. We will find ways to serve the consumer. Do not give up on this industry. Do not give up on yourself. You may have to work a little harder, but most real estate agents they got a lot of grit and they're not afraid of that. So I just want to thank everybody who watched today. And Veronica, before we end this, I'd love for you to just maybe direct anybody where they can sign up for tomorrow's event with the one and only John Sheplack.
Absolutely. The link to register is rideandthrive.com. And I'm not sure if Josie can post that in the comments, but again, rideandthrive.com. It's a live Zoom webinar with John, and everyone's welcome, completely brand agnostic. And he is just going to deliver an amazing message for an entire hour. Our personal coach, someone who's helped us build our business and work with some of the best agents across the country. And he's just going to help guide, share directional wisdom, and really come from a place of serving. That's what we do.
Awesome. Okay. I think we can get Josie to put that into the comments, but again, absolutely from my heart to yours. I am filled with gratitude. Let's all pray really hard for our world to heal, for those that are suffering in so many different ways. And let's all just stay stronger together. And Veronica, I thank you.
I love you.
Thank you.
All right, girl. I can't wait to